Hello everyone and welcome to Leonardo's Success Workshop series. My name's Lancel and I'm a Customer Success Coach here at Leonardo. I'm going to be the moderator for today's workshop, which is called Getting Started with Vizlly. So our goal for today is to let you know about the tools that are available to you that are going to help you along the way to digital marketing success with Vizlly. So we'll take you step by step through Vizlly's basic functionality, and we're going to introduce you to some of the people and resources that can help you along your success journey. Today's workshop is one of a series of success workshops designed to teach you everything that you need to know about Vizlly and to inspire you with creative marketing ideas that are going to help you get the most out of your investment. So be sure to attend these workshops so that you can become familiar with all of the basic and advanced functionality that are available to you with your Vizlly subscription. If anyone has any questions throughout the workshop today, feel free to type them into the question box at the bottom of your GoToWebinar panel. We'll be pausing periodically throughout the workshop to address any questions posted there. As well, throughout today's workshop, I'm going to be sharing resources with you through the chat box in that same GoToWebinar panel, so be sure to leave it open in case you wanted to access any of the tips or resources. Finally, before we get started, I just wanted to introduce you all to your speakers for today's workshop. I'm joined today by my colleague Amanda. She's one of our customer success coaches here. Well-versed in the world of customer service and educated in global management and finance, Amanda strives to provide accommodation providers with optimal service and brighten their day at the same time. Amanda was CHDM certified in 2014. I'm also joined today by another one of our customer success coaches, Jimmy. Jimmy knew he was destined to work in the hospitality industry when he fell in love with travel during his 100-day European backpacking trip. Sharing his own travel stories when he got home showed him that helping accommodation providers tell their own stories would be an ideal fit for him, and with a background in PR and marketing, he's got the knowledge to help properties do it right. Jimmy was also CHDM certified in 2015. So today Amanda and Jimmy are going to walk us through getting started with the Vizlly subscription. Specifically, here are a few of the items that we're going to cover in the next 45 minutes. So we're going to do a quick overview of the components of Vizlly, and then we'll talk about things to consider when defining your property's story. We'll also discuss how you can use Vizlly to put that story together and to share it online with travel shoppers. We'll show you the tools available to you, which are going to help you get the most out of Vizlly. And lastly, we'll show you how you can measure your success within the analytics section of Vizlly. Well, we have a lot to show you in the next 45 minutes, so without further ado, I'm just going to hand the controls over to Amanda, and she's going to get us started.
Thanks, Lancel. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Before we get into any of the how-tos, we'd like to start by giving you a quick overview of Vizlly. Vizlly is a powerful multi-channel digital marketing system that makes it easy for accommodation providers to create and publish websites, mobile websites, Facebook apps, and targeted digital brochures for third-party travel sites, all in one place. Designed specifically for hotels and equipped with the power to build your online presence for both direct and indirect booking channels, Vizlly is truly unique. Let's take a quick look at all of the amazing things you could do with Vizlly. Today we're going to be looking at all the features, but just keep in mind that the features you have access to will depend on your Vizlly subscription that you've purchased. So with Vizlly, you can create your very own hotel website and drive more bookings by telling compelling stories about your hotel's rooms, promotions, and unique features. Vizly's website are designed with a visual-first approach, taking visitors on an immersive visual tour of your hotel. Highlight the most important aspects of your hotel, the features and amenities that make your property stand out. Whether that's your award-winning spa, fitness facility, free breakfast, or nearby restaurants and attractions. Build your own optimized smartphone and tablet websites to give travel shoppers the right online experience for their device. Vizlly's mobile optimized website are designed and built to follow mobile best practices and have received the mobile-friendly label from Google, helping you to rank higher in mobile search results. Already have a mobile optimized website? You can use the same functionality to create a mobile optimized gallery that will enhance your existing mobile site. Create and publish Facebook apps, showcasing multimedia stories about your guest rooms, event and meeting spaces, promotions, and unique features. Gives travel shoppers a virtual experience of your property without even having to leave your Facebook page. Every app features a booking widget, making it easy to turn your hotel's Facebook page into a booking conversion tool. Create, publish, and syndicate targeted, visually driven digital brochures of your hotel to millions of travel shoppers via Leonardo's V Network, the most extensive travel website network in the global travel industry. Vizlly puts your hotel story in front of millions of travel shoppers around the world, allowing you to reach and engage potential guests. Want to attract more business travelers? Showcase your business-friendly features on corporate traveling booking sites. Are brides-to-be important to your hotel's success? Showcase your wedding venue on event planning sites. You can even create seasonally driven stories on traditional websites for leisure travel shoppers. Track your success with Vizlly Analytics. So once you're all set up with a website, you're mobile optimized, and you're sharing your stories on social media and travel websites, it's now time to start tracking your performance using Vizlly Analytics. You can track where and what your consumers are engaging with, identify top channels, promotions, and room types, and then you can strategize accordingly. Finally, the Vizlly interface makes it easy to manage your hotel's content and digital marketing all in one place. It's a simpler, more efficient way to manage your hotel's online presence across the channels and devices where travel shoppers are booking. As you can see, Vizlly is a complete multi-channel digital marketing system that allows you to create and manage your hotel's online presence for direct and indirect channels, helping you to engage with and convert online travel shoppers.
Amanda, thanks so much for that overview of Vizlly. Did anyone have any questions now that we've learned a little bit more about the platform? So now that you all know what you can do with Vizlly, I just wanted to take a quick poll of the audience just to find out which Vizlly feature you all are most excited about. So you're going to see 4 answers on this screen. Just click the radio button beside the one that suits you the best. I'll give everyone a moment to weigh in now. Awesome. Most of you have submitted your answers now, and it looks like mobile sites and galleries was the top choice. So I'm glad to hear that many of you are excited about this feature. At this point, I'm going to pass the controls over to Jimmy. He's going to talk to us and take us through the first steps of Vizlly, which should be identifying and defining your property's story or stories.
Thanks, Ansel. Like Amanda said, before we get into the specific on the how to use Vizlly, we want to talk to you first on how to identify your hotel story. A great story can shape your hotel's identity and give your online audience relevant content that they can look forward to. In the age of information overload, the right visuals with the right text can attract travel shoppers to your property. One of the comments we hear from hoteliers is, "My hotel doesn't have a story." Well, we're here to tell you that it does. In fact, it probably has several. And finding that story is step one, because that story is going to be the reason why travel shoppers choose you. Your story will convey an experience guests can expect and the memories that they can create by choosing you. If you're struggling with finding that story, well, who better to identify what stands about your property than someone who has experienced it firsthand. Take note when your guests praise your unforgettable scrambled eggs or share an image of your manager's reception. Those are stories. When defining your hotel story, think of the following questions. Read reviews. What do guests say about your hotel? Why do guests choose you? Define target customer segments. Who are your guests? Competitive advantages. How do competitors differentiate themselves? And what makes your hotel unique? If you need help identifying your hotel story, check out the customer community post, "What's your story? 5 tips to help you find it." I'm going to have Lancel chat that link out now so you have it for your own reference.
Thank you, Jimmy, for walking us through that component of defining your property's story. Once you've defined your hotel story and chosen who the target audience is going to be for your story, you're ready to use the tools that are available to you with Vizlly to tell that story. So I'm going to pass things over to Amanda now. She's going to show us exactly how that's done.
Thanks, Lancel. We'll start by logging into Vizlly. If you'd like to follow along, you can log in using the login information you set up when you activated your Vizlly account. If you haven't activated your account yet or need help getting access, please send us a note at customersuccess@leonardo.com and your success coach will retrieve the information for you. I'll also have Lancel chat out the link to our Vizlly platform just in case anybody wants to follow along as we get started. Once you're logged into Vizlly, you'll see that you can upload all of your visual content in library, turn your stories, content into stories in StoryMaker, publish your stories in Publisher, and then report on your success in Analytics. For the purposes of today's workshop, we'll be touching on each of these sections. Now, before we get started with uploading your media to the library, there are a few other navigational items I'd like to point out in Vizlly. There are shortcuts on your homepage that can quickly take you to manage your library, create a feature story, update your website, and manage your Facebook apps. Additionally, the Information tab is where you can go to upload basic information about your hotel, including your property information, web and social links, and room types. You'll also find the top navigational links to our help and community pages, a great resource for any questions that you may have. Now, if you're going to be managing multiple properties in Vizlly, you'll notice the property selector over to the left. And finally, the admin console is where you can go to create and manage users and permissions. So the library is actually where the journey with Vizlly will begin. Visual content is the foundation of everything that you do in Vizlly. So before you can get started with creating and publishing your stories for your hotel, you'll need to upload your content within the library and add brief descriptions to each of your media items. We encourage you to upload all of your current media. Don't hold back, upload everything you have, there's no limit. Here are some suggestions of what content you should upload. Photos and videos, whether they're professional or not, there's a purpose for both. Your hotel's logos and any other logos. So, sorry, just a second. It looks like we're actually having technical difficulties. If you just give us 1 second. Okay, so we're just going to log in. So your hotel's logos and any other logos, if for example, you have a restaurant or spa, you might want to upload those. 360 virtual tours of your guest rooms and amenities, awards and certification badges, for example, if you have a TripAdvisor award, area attractions near your hotel, and finally, any guest room and meeting or event space floor plans that you may have. When you initially log in and access your library, you may already see images listed. This media is likely coming from your brand or your representation company. While some media may already be uploaded, be sure to build on this. You can upload photos, virtual tours, videos that are stored on your computer, on a flash drive, CD, DVD, or network drive. You cannot, however, upload media items that exist only on your website or for which you don't have the original files and copyrights. To get started with uploading your visual content, click on the Add Content button at the top left-hand corner. Okay, so now you'll want to browse your computer to find your visual content. Select your media files and click Open. For each media item, you'll need to make sure that you set a caption, a category, image type, and if you'd like this content to be available for use in syndication by your brand or representation company, just click the Available for Syndication box. Then click Upload and you're done. Please note that for videos and virtual tours, it will take 24 to 48 hours before they appear in your library.
Amanda, I'm just going to pause you there. We actually had a question come in from Katrina. She asked if there is a specific format that her media needs to be in.
Question, Katrina. There are no requirements, but we do have some multimedia guidelines for hotel photos, videos, and virtual tours that we can pass along to you. You always want to make sure you're uploading the highest quality images. The bigger, the better. In terms of file types, your photos should be in JPEG and your videos should be in an MOV, AVI, or MP4 format. Make sure you upload all of your media. There's no limit to what you can upload. Depending on your property, you should try to upload between 15 and 35 plus photos, 3 to 10 virtual tours, 1 to 2 full-length videos, and about 2 to 10 short snackable video slideshows. I'll also have Lancel chat out the link to our media submission guidelines for your reference.
Thanks, Amanda. So I am going to go ahead and chat out that link because that was a lot of information. So I'll have you guys, you can click on the media submission guideline document in the chat box in a second. It's a great document to reference if you're getting started with uploading your media.
Thanks, Lancel. So now that you've added your media items, it's time to add text descriptions to fully describe to travel shoppers what they're seeing. A picture may be worth 1,000 words, but a little bit of well-written text really helps define your story. There are 3 areas where text can be added for each media item: the caption, the short, and the long description. The caption is a label for the thumbnail image so that the viewer has an idea of what they're looking at before seeing the full-sized image. The short description is a headline for the image, a short line to quickly catch the viewer's attention, compelling them to read on. And the long description is where you can go to share all the info you want the viewer to know about. Going back to Vizlly, we'll start by giving this image a compelling caption. Hover over the image and click on the pencil icon. Keep it to 30 characters or less so that the caption fits and displays well on your digital brochure, Facebook apps, and website. Note that you can change the category of the image here as well, but I feel that it's categorized properly, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Next, we'll add in the text to the short description field. As mentioned before, the short description is meant to be a quick headline to draw the reader's attention. We recommend keeping it about 90 characters. And the long description is where you'll be able to add more detail. When adding to the long description field, you can and should use the formatting tools. Using bullet points emphasizes important features, and bold text draws the reader's attention. You want to avoid using big blocks of text, which impatient viewers will likely ignore. Instead, use short sentences and frequent paragraph breaks. When you're done and happy with the short and long descriptions, you'll want to press just save and then save again and then back. So now you've added in descriptions. You want to continue this process until you've added text descriptions to all of your media items.
Thank you, Amanda. So now that we've uploaded all of our content and we've added text descriptions, it's time to turn that content into what we call stories. So I'm going to hand things over to Jimmy now. He's going to walk us through how to create room, feature, and offer stories.
Thanks, Lancel. Once you've collected all your media, it's time to turn that media into stories. There are 3 types of stories that you can create within Vizlly. These include feature stories, room type stories, and offer stories. We're going to start off by creating a feature story. So you're going to hover over the Story Maker tab and click on Feature Story. If you haven't created any feature stories yet, click on the New Feature Story button. Think of feature stories as the unique elements of your hotel that may be interesting to prospective guests. What makes your property stand out? Do you have a kids center, a spa, wedding facilities? Create stories that showcase your unique features. In the end, we'll group together all of these individual stories, and if published to multi-channel marketing, it's going to look something like this. A digital brochure with all of the stories that highlight the special features of your hotel and your property. To get started with building out our stories, click on the Add New Feature Story button. We're going to start by naming our story. Note that this story will be visible to travel shoppers, so we recommend that you name your story 1 to 2 words in length and summarize the content that you're going to be including. My property has an amazing spa facility, and I want to make sure that I'm showing this off, so I'm going to name my story Avalon Spa. Then I'll select the spa images that I'd like to include in my story. I'll drag the images from the library on the right, and I'll drop them into the drop zone. And finally, I'll resequence these images to take travel shoppers through the spa experience that they can expect when they stay with us. When I'm happy with my story about my spa, I'll click Save. Finally, I'll click back and I'll view the story that I just created. You'll want to repeat this process until you've created stories that highlight all of your property's unique features. Create stories about your accommodations, your local attractions, your on-site dining, or just for kids. Make sure you're creating stories that showcase what sets you apart from your competitors. At this point, we've created all of our feature stories. Now we'll want to group some of these stories together to what we call a multi-group feature story. Multi-group feature stories can be published to a digital brochure, a website, a web widget, a mobile site, or even your Facebook apps. As a general rule, we recommend including no more than 5 to 7 feature stories in a multi-group feature story. To group your stories together, click down and hold the Control button on your keyboard and select the stories that you want to include. Then, select the Create Story button on the top right-hand corner to group them all together. Again, we're going to start by giving our story a name. In this case, because I'm creating a multi-group feature story, this name will not be visible to travel shoppers, but will be visible to you in analytics, so you want to make sure that the name is clear and descriptive. Once this story includes an overview of your features of your hotel, I'm going to name it Feature Story Hotel Overview. Drag and drop to change the order of the stories. When you're happy with your story, click Save. Click back to view the multi-group feature story that you've created. Now, that's it. You've now created a multi-group feature story that we can publish to our Vizlly website, Facebook apps, mobile, or even your digital brochures.
Jimmy, thank you for walking us through that process. We actually have a link from our customer community that walks you through creating the stories that Jimmy just went through. So I'm going to chat that out now, just in case anyone wanted to review it later when they're in Vizlly.
Thanks, Ansel. With a multi-group feature story created, it's now time to create visually rich stories for my rooms, suites, and my overall accommodations. To get started, we'll hover over Story Maker and select Room Types. By now, you should have already created your room types under the Info section. Room types can be identified under the information icon on the top left-hand corner. We'll need to group our room types together to create a room type story. We'll follow the same steps we followed when creating our feature story. Hold down the Control key on your keyboard and select all of the room types you'd like to include. Click the Create Feature Story button on the top right-hand corner. Give your room type story a name, for example, Luxury Suites. Once again, you're able to sequence your stories in any specific order in which you like, and when you're all happy with it, you can click Save. And you can click back. Room type stories should be created if you've purchased Vizlly DMS or DMS Plus, since the room types you create can be published to your Facebook page, your Vizlly website, or even your existing website as an embeddable widget. Once published, your room type stories will look something like this. With all of your room types displayed along with multimedia and large items, occupancy count, room size, rate range, and descriptive text.
Thanks, Jimmy. I'm just going to interrupt you for a second. So we had a question come in from Joseph. He's wondering why he's not able to see any of his room types under his Story Maker tab.
Yeah, that's a good question, Joseph. So if you haven't created any of your room types, you're going to have to create them by going in and going under the Info section and selecting room types. You'll have to go in and fill in all the specific information about that room, so your occupancy, your square footage, the bedding, so on and so forth. In this case, if you haven't done it before, I'm actually going to have Lancel chat out the link to our customer community post on creating your different room types.
That was a great answer, Jimmy. I'll definitely chat out that link now, and I will pass things back to you so that you can walk us through creating our final stories, special offers.
Perfect. So to get started with creating special offers, we're going to hover over Story Maker and select Offer Story. Here you'll see the offers you've already created, or you can create new ones by clicking the Add New Offer item button. We'll click to create a new special offer. We'll start by naming our offer. This will be the headline for your offer, and it will be seen by travel shoppers. We recommend keeping this 3 to 5 words max or 30 characters. Now, you're going to select an image that you want to use to showcase this offer from the library on the right. You're simply just going to drag it over from the right and then drop it into the drop zone. So you're going to want to include all the information that you have about this offer. So if there's a promo code, the type of offer that it is, if it's bookable, the type of button that you want it to say, a booking URL if there is one, if you want it to be redirected. Also, if there's any permitted stay dates or if there's any blackout dates. You also want to have a brief description. So similarly, the way that we were writing for the media items, you want to use formatting like bold, italics, bulleted list. You really want to make it easy for travel shoppers to scan through. Um, and then at the bottom, if there's any terms and conditions that apply for the special offer, you can go in and add all of that in. So once you've gone through this and you've created all of your room types, it's similar to what you did before. You're just going to click Save. There, so click Save and click Back. So once you clicked back, you're going to see all the offers that you've created. And you're going to repeat this process for each of the special offers that you would like to create. So once again, you're going to want to group these together with all of your other offer stories, the same way that we did with the room types and the feature stories. So you'll hold down the control button and select the offers that you want to group together. We're going to name our offer story, and this is not visible to travel shoppers, but will be visible to you in analytics. So we'll name ours Special Offers. Then you'll click Save, and you'll click Back. Like room types, special offers can be published to your Facebook page, your Vizlly website, or even your existing website as a special offers widget. Once published, your special offer is going to look something like this, with your visual content and offer information combined to showcase deals, promotions, and special rates. These visually appealing special offers will entice deal seekers and drive direct bookings.
Thanks, Jimmy, for walking us through creating those special offers. So with all of the effort that we've put into creating our feature, room, and offer stories, it's time to publish those stories so that we can get them in front of travel shoppers. I'm going to hand the controls over to Amanda now, and she's going to walk us through the publisher feature.
Thanks, Ansel. As Jimmy mentioned, at this point, we've created some really compelling stories in Vizlly, and now it's time to start sharing them with millions of travel shoppers on direct and indirect channels. Publish stories to web marketing, to create a website or web widget, tablet, to create a tablet optimized website, smartphone, to create a smartphone optimized website, social media marketing, to create Facebook apps, and multi-channel marketing to create digital brochures for syndication to third-party travel channels. For the purposes of today's workshop, we'll show you how to publish a digital brochure across our V-network of travel sites. Publishing stories to create a website, mobile site, or Facebook apps follow pretty much the same process, but detailed instructions can be found in our community and are covered in a separate workshop. To publish your digital brochure, all you need to do is add your stories to the digital brochures and choose which websites you want to publish them to. You can publish different brochures to different types of travel websites in the V-network, from online travel agencies to corporate booking sites and everything in between, so that the stories you're sharing are always relevant. To get started, hover over the Publisher tab and select Multi-Channel Marketing. Then select the Publish and Syndicate button on the right side of the screen. You'll see all the feature stories that you've created. Okay, so you'll want to select the story that you would want, select the multi-group feature story you'd like to syndicate from the right and drag it into the drop zone. You'll notice that your story has been marked as default. What this means is that this is the default story displayed on all current V-network channels, as well as all channels that are added to the network in the future. You can choose to display targeted digital brochures on individual or group channels by dragging over additional stories into the drop zone and selecting the channels that you would like it to be displayed on. Okay, so as Jimmy mentioned earlier, with Vizlly, you can target your hotel story on specific travel websites offering customized details that resonate with your audience. I've created a grouped story to target business travelers, which highlights features that are important to business travelers, like free high-speed wireless internet, our loyalty program, our business center, in-room workspace, and proximity to local businesses. I'm going to publish this story to channels that I know is used exclusively by business travelers, like Concur, Corpovia, Lanyon, and HRG. I've also created a group story to target meeting and event planning, which highlights floor plans, on-site catering, and audio-visual services, room blocks, and event or offers packages. I'm going to publish this story to channels that I know is used exclusively by those planning a meeting or event like Cvent, meetingbooker.com, and Scintilla. Attract more business travelers by showcasing your business-friendly features on corporate travel channels like Concur, Corpovia. Highlight your property's wedding venues and catering options on event planning sites like Cvent. Once you've published all your digital brochures and are happy, click Save. And that's it. We've now published our digital brochure on third-party travel sites.
Awesome. So while Amanda just walked us through how we can publish our multi-group feature stories across Leonardo's network of travel websites, this is really only the beginning. Within Publisher, you can actually publish your content to web marketing, meaning a website or web widgets for your existing site, to tablet or smartphone, so that means optimized sites or even galleries for your mobile devices, to social media marketing, which is our suite of Facebook apps. So I'm going to chat out the link now to our Publisher series of how-to videos. They walk you through publishing your website, mobile solutions, and Facebook apps. I'm going to hand the controls back over to Amanda now, and she's going to talk to us about analytics.
Thanks, Ansel. Analyzing your results is an important step in ensuring success with Vizlly. The purpose of going through the effort of creating and publishing your digital brochure, Facebook apps, or website for your hotel is to drive increased engagement and bookings. So make sure it's working for you. Analyze your results that you're seeing through Vizlly Analytics, Google Analytics, and whatever other tools you use to measure your success, and make adjustments accordingly. Let's head over to Vizlly to take a look at some of the things we can monitor here. With Vizlly Analytics, depending on the subscription that you have, you'll be able to measure things like where your leads are coming from and which channels are performing best. Use this report to determine which channels or platforms are of most value. Browser languages. This report will rank all visitors by their web browser default language. So for example, you can use this information to determine popular browser languages of your guests. If you're seeing a large majority of your guests have a Spanish browser setting, it may mean that your next step is to consider creating a Spanish version of your website. Which media is most popular with visitors? This report will give you an understanding of which content is viewed most by travel shoppers. Use this information to determine what's important to your travel shoppers and make sure it's showcasing it. If your wedding images are viewed the most, well, maybe it's time that you build a wedding gallery page for your website or add wedding photos to your homepage gallery. Which offers are most compelling to travel shoppers? This report will rank which offers are driving visitors to click the book now and share links. Use this information when thinking about future special offers. What are travel shoppers visiting your website or your Facebook page looking for when it comes to special offers? Discounts at your on-site restaurant? Seasonal packages? Seniors discounts? Create special offers that are going to turn your lookers into bookers. Track how your stories are performing and which stories are performing best. While these reports identify the most popular stories, they can also provide insight into what was specifically viewed. Use this information to see what travel shoppers are looking for so you can create and customize stories based on their preferences. Finally, all channels to determine which channels provide the greatest reach. If you're seeing that most of your reviews are coming from corporate travel channels like Concur and Get There, well, maybe it's time to start thinking about creating a targeted digital brochure that showcases your unique business features. So it will take some time to start seeing results that you'd like to see. But if you're not happy with them and need some guidance, remember that your success coach is just a phone call away and will be more than happy to help.
Stop, pause. I closed the PowerPoint by accident. So,
Okay, well, we're just relaunching PowerPoint. I am going to chat out a link about Vizlly's analytics. So you guys can take a look at that if you're curious about the functionality of the analytics tool. We also had a question come in just now from Tim. Tim is wondering if Google Analytics is something that he should be getting in addition to his Vizlly Analytics.
yeah, that's a really good question, Tim. If you're planning on using a website or any of our mobile solutions, you're likely going to want to get a Google Analytics account. There are analytics in Vizly, which Amanda just went over, but they don't provide traditional web insights like your page visits, your time on page, and etc. Plugging in your Google Analytics tracking ID into your website will give you this type of insight. If you already have a Google Analytics account, you can just add your Google Analytics tracking code under Publisher. If you don't have a Google Analytics account, it's free and it's really easy to set up. I'm going to have Lancel chat out the link with some helpful information about Google Analytics in case you are interested in doing so. So kind of moving forward, and sorry about that little technical difficulty we were having there. That's kind of everything that me and my team wanted to go over with you today to start with leveraging the services. I know that we've covered a lot of information today, so where do we go from here? We want to share some resources with you that you can reference after you leave us here today to ensure your success along the way with Vizly. The best way to get acquainted with Vizly following this workshop is by following the Smart Start Guide. This guide will recap everything we've covered today, and it outlines everything you need to know to get started with Vizly. You can reference the Smart Start Guide in the Leonardo customer community at support.leonardo.com. I'm going to have Lancel chat this link out now. And speaking of the community, beyond the Smart Start Guide, our customer community contains tons of valuable information for new and experienced Leonardo customers. Visit the community to connect with other hotel marketers, find product how-tos, and to be inspired to take your digital marketing to the next level. We've put together a series of tutorial videos that will help you out. Each how-to video takes you on a detailed tour of a component in Vizly. Be sure to check out all of these videos in our customer community. Of course, as we told you in the beginning, you also have a dedicated team of people who are always ready to help. Don't hesitate to contact us. Contact your success team for best practices and advice with doing more with Vizly. Contact your technical support team with any technical product issues, or contact our storytelling specialist if you're looking for professional help in telling your hotel story.
Hey, Jimmy and Amanda, thank you so much. That was a really informative workshop. So before we leave you all today, I just wanted to recap what we've learned so far. The first step to success with Vizly is definitely going to be defining your hotel's story. If you're not sure what the story is, you need to look to your guest reviews as a source of information. Once you know the story that you want to tell, you can log into Vizly and start publishing it. First, upload all of your visual content, and then you want to add text descriptions so that you can provide context for the travel shopper. Next, you can create compelling multimedia-driven stories about your property's rooms, special offers, and any unique features to engage and convert those travel shoppers. The next step is to publish those compelling stories about your property. Vizly makes it easy for you to create and publish websites, mobile websites, social media apps, as well as a digital brochure for travel websites. Lastly, you can monitor your success. So you can track where and what consumers are engaging with, identify your top stories and channels, and then strategize accordingly. So finally, don't forget that you have a ton of resources available to you to help you along the way, so you don't ever need to feel overwhelmed. We have our Smart Start Guide. We also have the Leonardo customer community, the links from which I've been chatting out throughout the webinar. There's also a series of tutorial and how-to videos. And of course you have your success team, so feel free at any time to call or email your success coach and they'll be happy to help you. Before we say goodbye today, I just wanted to launch a final poll question. I'd like to hear from everybody. Based on today's workshop, do you think you'll attend another workshop on a different topic? So again, your answers really help us understand whether or not we're providing the content that's most valuable to you, and that's obviously our goal. Awesome. So the majority of you have voted, and by and large you said that you would attend again, which is great to hear. So that's actually all of the content that we have for you today. Before we get into any final questions, we just want to remind you that we do host our success workshops on a regular basis. So look out for the invitations to our upcoming workshops in your inbox. Additionally, you can keep in mind that we will be sending you a recording of today's workshop, and it usually takes a day or so. So if you missed anything or if you just want to go over any of the topics again, you'll have the presentation and audio emailed to you for reference. So that's all we had to go over for today. Are there any last-minute questions before we conclude today's workshop? We did have one question come in from Alan. He was wondering if it's possible to upload PowerPoint presentations to Vizlly. And Alan, at this time it's not. You can just upload virtual tours, videos, and JPEGs. As well, you can upload images of floor plans and logos, etc. But different file formats aren't accepted at this time.
Just to add to that, the media submission guidelines document that we chatted out covers what you can be uploading into Vizlly. And if you do have additional questions, we can have your success coach reach out to you after this workshop.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So everyone, we really hope that you found today's workshop useful and that we've empowered you a little bit to use these tools to get started with Vizlly. So thank you all again so much for joining us, and happy marketing.